I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I apologize about the air conditioning. It does not work. And I thank Aaron for raising all the windows for me here. Roll call.
Shane Bailey. Shinda Delaney.
Here.
Darren Howell. Don Miller.
Here.
Teresa Stratton.
Here.
Randy Thorpe.
Here.
Jane Marco.
Here.
Mayor Chip Morella.
Here.
Attorney Chris Farrow. Michelle Gutgalski. Heather Hess. Roll has been called.
Thank you. The minutes of the previous meeting you have received. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes as written?
I'll make a motion. to
Just
accept
say that
the
one
minutes.
correction that we
I'll
wanted.
second it.
Wait a second. We have one correction.
Yeah, there is one correction. Do you want to say it since you noticed it or?
No, you go ahead. Say it.
Okay, so under the grants purchasing and building, I typed concerns were voiced about the borough paying for mistakes of the engineer. Jane wants me to correct it to what wording, Jane?
I would delete the sentence. Because it has to do with the grant. The borough does not have to pay it. It's part of the grant. Unless you just want to change it to the grant.
Shayna, I mean, you had the concerns.
Well, the concern was paying for it out of the grant, because at the end of that report, it stated that we would have so much money left over for the concession stand, but if we didn't have to pay for this mistake, we would have even more money. So I guess you could word it as,
But there's always change orders on all the
So
grants.
concerns were voiced about the money coming out of the grant.
again, because we have to pay for the mistake from the grant, when that money could be going somewhere else. That was my concern.
So how about coming out of the remaining grant money?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now may I have a motion,
I'll
please?
make a motion.
Second?
Accept the minutes with the change.
Okay.
All right, a motion's been made by Randy Thorpe and seconded by, was it Teresa or Shayna?
Yes.
Ms. Stratton, and you have heard the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Abstentions? Motion carried. Now, you have a bill list in front of you. Shelley noted that a few months ago, in January, we said that we would not pay a retainer fee. And for, what is his name? Richard Henry, and that was $500. And she said that the check should be for $137 and some cents. And because we did pass that unanimously not to pay his, so that's one change in the bill list.
So it's gonna be $137.50 instead of the $600.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills with the one change.
Second?
I have a question
Sure.
on the back. The PAMS structures. What was,
Shed.
did that come out of grant money or did it come out of budget money?
It was the grant money because it was used specifically, if you go down there, you'll see why it was used.
Yeah, I saw it.
It's to hold the backstop up.
Okay.
And
We didn't vote on it. I listened to a video from September to December. We didn't vote on it. It is what it is. It's there. It was needed. The point is, we didn't vote on it.
well, we didn't vote on anything under the grant. We didn't vote on the fence. We didn't vote on the sand, special sand. We didn't vote on anything. It's under the grant. And so you have to do specifically what the grant is for. So let's say you decided you wanted us to have a merry-go-round instead of a slide. You can't do that. If you have in the grant, it's a slide, it has to be a slide.
Shane, I have one question.
Sure,
We put over 500,000 in the field, right?
yes,
And they did a great job.
Yes,
But why did we have to buy a shed to support the back?
because what we were going to do back there is we were gonna have this whole superstructure to hold the back up. You have to have, has to be, you have to have all different kinds of things to hold the back up so that when it gets hit and when anybody runs into it and when the ball goes back and so forth, that it doesn't move at all. And so they decided to use a shed instead because of the fact that if using the shed, they could then use the shed also, and we can, to say to the people, the Little League and everybody else, we can put lockers in there eventually, and then they can keep their stuff there instead of always having to haul it and put it back in their trunk and take everything out. So that was the thinking on that.
Thank you.
I make a motion to pay the bills.
Okay, second motion?
Second.
A motion been made by Randy and seconded by Darren to pay the bills as listed with the one change from Mr. Henry. You've heard the question. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Motion carried. Police report, Chief?
Yes, the police report for May 2026. Disabled vehicles, we had 2. Assisted other police departments or agencies, we had 2.
No.
Welfare checks, 1. Noise complaints, disturbances, we had 1. Let's see. For suspicious persons, we had 4, and total on-calls were 37 and 9 ongoing investigations right now.
Are there any questions of the chief? Someone emailed, I don't know who it was, that the lockers, here there was vandalism to the lockers and some other thing, to the, that the Wayne County put out here.
There's a gash in the bottom, but who was it?
I think-
Heather
I
thinks
think
that
it
it
was
was
there
there
when
in
it was
installation.
installed. Did anybody else notice it?
I didn't look at it that close.
Did you notice it?
Well, I did. Well,
There's a gash right in the corner as you come around the corner. I mean, it's already rusty too, so I think it was there.
been there
when
a
they
while,
installed
now. It's rusted out, yeah.
Well, we need to inform the county
Yeah,
of that condition. Okay, anything else for our chief? Now the fire company report?
yep, there was because we didn't do April, so April they had 14 calls, May they had 18 calls, and coming up for the weekend, Friday, there will be happenings going on in the Grove. There will also be fireworks. So that will be starting out our weekend. I'm sure Shayna will finish with the rest of what's going on, but the fire company will have activities in a band going on Friday night and fireworks.
Good, good.
You know what time off the top of your head?
Dusk, they said dusk.
Dusk.
When, somebody asked me on Friday, when do the activities start there on Friday at the Grove?
Let me look up the time.
I wanna say 5 o'clock, but I have to check the,
I think it's 5 as well.
Okay,
I would have to.
please check on that if you will. All right, the mayor's report?
I have nothing. Thank you.
Okay, the zoning officer's report.
He was coming, you said.
He just told me on the phone he was coming, but he's obviously not here yet, so we'll put him aside right now.
Excuse me, fire company is 5 to 11 on Friday.
All right, thank you. The solicitor isn't here yet, though he's expected. We have correspondence.
Do I read this or do I just circulate this?
I would just circulate that.
All right, dear members of Waymart Borough Council and neighbors, please accept this as my formal notification that I am stepping down from my position as council president effective immediately. While I am resigning from the presidency, I look forward to continuing my service to our community as a member of the Borough Council. Serving as council president has been a great experience. However, between raising a young family and managing growing business commitments, I simply do not have the extra time required to dedicate to the role at this time. I love this town deeply and I want nothing but a bright future for our community. Thank you for all of your support and partnership. I look forward to working alongside of you to help Waymart Borough grow and to strengthen our community. Sincerely, Shane Bailey, Waymart Borough Council member. Action will be taken under new business. I have the Waymart Area Authority regular meeting minutes, if anyone would like to read those. Members of Waymart Borough Council, dear council members, I am writing as a resident of neighboring Clinton Township to submit comments for the public record regarding the proposed data center developments and associated power plants in the region. While I understand that these projects are currently in the planning and review stages in my township, and that they may not be directly located within Waymart Borough, I believe it is important to consider potential impacts that could affect surrounding communities as well. In that spirit, I respectfully request that the following potential impacts be considered and that my relevant information be clearly communicated to the public. Water and sewage capacity, including the long-term demand on local and regional systems, light pollution, particularly the potential for light dome effects impacting nearby residential areas, noise impacts, including concerns related to low-frequency sound or infrasound, increased traffic, including possible flow-through patterns between Holmesdale and Waymart Borough, potential structural or foundation impacts related to blasting or heavy construction activity. At present, I am not aware of any confirmed plans involving Waymart Borough's water supply. However, given the scale of these proposed developments, I believe it is important to ensure that all potential cross-municipal impacts are evaluated and made publicly available. I request that these comments be entered into the public record and considered as discussions and planning efforts move forward. Thank you for your time and your service to the community. All thanks and good thoughts. Natalie Kulik, Doctor of Education, Clinton Township, PA.
I encourage people to go to the meetings, just to know what's going on and get the right. It was written up in 2 newspapers and it was like 2 different accounts. So it's very important to attend yourself. Any other correspondence?
That's it.
It is my honor and my pleasure to present the judge of Wayne County, Janine Edwards. Thank you very much for coming, and would you like to speak to us?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all allowing me to come. I apologize if my back is to this side of the room. In my courtroom, I've witnessed the devastating cycle of addiction and crime. I've seen its effects on public safety and our community, but I've also seen remarkable transformation through our Wayne County Drug and Treatment Court. We break the cycle through that court. Drug addiction and overdoses plagued our community during the time period that I was district attorney. I had to prosecute multiple homicides related to drugs, drug dealers, and repeat offenders. Don't worry, I'll punish him later.
Sorry.
Sorry, excuse us.
Basketball, Judge.
In 2017, Judge Hamill started the Wayne County Drug and Treatment Court. It's a specialized alternative court program. It takes an all-intensive, resource-driven aspects approach to addiction and crime. When you use intense supervision, helping people find a job, helping people find homes, giving people community support, giving them a purpose, you can do so much in small towns, small communities. You reduce the likelihood of committing another crime. You reduce costs associated with prosecution. You reduce incarceration. You also see a reduction in services like children and youth services, state and county benefits, services such as healthcare. You prevent overdose fatalities, and you overall improve general health, strengthening families and their community. Addressing the root cause of addiction and crime is very, very important when you're looking at the overall breaking of the cycle. As judge, I've made the program more accountable to our community. I've changed it in order to get into this specialized treatment court. Participants are required to plead guilty to their crime. They're sentenced into the program. They're monitored intensely. They are on house arrest. They are on ankle monitoring, alcohol monitoring. This change was important for me as judge
Hence what brings my sidekick, my court administrator, Melinda Card, and I around to Wayne County. This year, we've decided to go out and meet as many community groups, civic groups, council borough meetings, just to make people aware of what we're doing every day in Wayne County in the court. Drug court takes a team-based approach. We meet every single week. It's not just myself and my court administrator, it's also the probation department, it's the recovery providers, it is mental health, it's law enforcement, and it's case managers. So that we can look at overall, what does each individual participant need the most in order to succeed, to live in our communities, whether it's Waymart, Honesdale, Goldsboro, Pleasant Mount, but what do they need? And they don't just need to come before me and go to jail. If anybody's been affected by anyone with addiction, you know they need a lot more than just that. I came to you not to ask for anything. I'm not asking for anything other than allowing us to educate you a little bit about the program. Allowing us to build community support and build trust. We believe in this program, we believe in the court. It reduces crime, it reduces substance abuse, and it reduces taxpayer dollars. That's our goal for this year, to go to as many local organizations as we can. We've been to Hawley Borough Council, we've been to Honesdale Planning Commission, we are on the schedule for some Rotary groups, some other civic organizations, so I appreciate your time greatly. Melinda is our drug court administrator. She has some specifics, details that she'd like to add to my comments.
So my role is the administrative side of things. So I take a look at applications. I approach individuals who may meet the criteria for this program. This does require very specific needs to be eligible for this program. They have to be a Wayne County resident over the age of 18. They have to have a diagnosed substance use disorder, which is not completed by myself or the courts. That's a drug and alcohol decision. They have to be what's considered a high-risk, high-need individual, meaning they're very unlikely to succeed under traditional probation supervision. So they need all of this. If you over-supervise and over-treat someone, it's actually to their detriment. So we want to make sure that they are a good fit for the program and that the program is a good fit for them. They have to have a qualifying charge. That means it has to be significant enough that they may be facing state incarceration. So there's a lot that goes into meeting this. So it's not just anybody that's coming through the Wayne County criminal justice system. I meet with them in Central Court every Wednesday, where I sometimes see Attorney Farrell. And I kind of have a conversation with them about what the program means and what the requirements are. We live in a rural area. They're in a large county, and there are challenges associated with that. Judge referred to housing. That's huge hurdle for our population. Transportation, very difficult in a rural county. I'm part of the transportation task force. We're always looking for alternative ways to get our people who live in Goldsboro to all of their required appointments closer to the courthouse. Childcare, employment. These individuals have a lot that they have to accomplish to remain in the court. Judge referred community accountability. They have appointments that they have to keep. That's a priority. Their recovery and their compliance with the program is a priority. So finding employers that are flexible with them. I'm on that task force too. I'm always asking, put me on your task force. We will be graduating our 50th participant this year, which is a huge milestone. We are launching our alumni program this year, which is another huge milestone. We believe that once the program is out of their lives, they need ongoing connection, support, what we call recovery capital. You need these people in your life to maintain all of this momentum, all of this great momentum that you've worked so hard to build. Once it drops off abruptly, that can lead to relapsing recidivism. And so the alumni is a huge accomplishment for us. I write lots of grants. I secure funding from federal, state, and local resources. Judge said we are not asking you for anything, and we're not. We are always looking for connection, though, for what we call stakeholders, people that are supporters of this program. So if they are aware of a resource, they send it our way. I'm always appreciative of that. There are many things, barriers that our participants things that we take for granted, our rides to work, our safe and stable living environment, and family connection. Our new model program that Judge referred is 36 months long. That's a long time. We're going from 18 months to a roughly 30-month program, sometimes a little bit more, because that's how long it takes for people to restructure their lives. So the only ask that I'm making is if you are aware of a resource in your community, in our community, whether it's an individual or a group, and they'd like to know more about it, please reach out to me. Heather has my information. I'm always happy to talk more about it. And I do thank you for your time and your attention. Appreciate it.
Well, you've certainly given us a lot to think about, and I would like to think that we could come up with some ideas and things to help with this. We know it's a growing problem, and thank God so far we haven't had too much trouble here in Waymart. And we'd like to, if possible, come up with a program to try to cut it off before it starts, if we could. So we would welcome any of your suggestions on things, specific things that you think we could do. Would anybody else like to comment on the judges and their aides' comments?
I just want to say it's one of the most eloquent presentations I've seen here in years.
Yeah, really?
We're only warming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We thank you very much. You're welcome to stay if you want, but you don't have to.
I think they call that kissing that.
Somebody remember something? We will excuse ourselves simply because it's important, obviously, that the court stay out of anything, and I wouldn't want to hamper anybody's discussions on anything. I'll let you go, but thank you very much for
Thank you.
this time.
Thank you, and I apologize again for the air conditioning.
No apology. We didn't have any electricity in the courthouse yesterday.
Oh, I heard that. I heard it from.
Nice to see everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. What?
James Bradley.
James Bradley? Hi.
How you doing?
What would you like to speak on?
I was asked to come here about the local income tax.
Yes.
And, well, I have some handouts here if you, it's the pros and cons of implementing local income tax. You're gonna get more money for the town instead of relying only on, property taxes and just property owners contributing to the town. Now, if you're renting and you're working, you're gonna contribute to the town. So that's not a bad thing. So far this year, you could have collected about maybe $64,000. And that could have went to maybe help the police department, buy a new car, or help the fire department for some of the costs for a new fire truck. Maybe fix a few potholes in the roads, because we know there's tons of potholes up there. And the bad part of it is it's going to be an additional tax, but only on earned income. If you're getting Social Security, or if you're getting
Like me?
any kind of retirement income, it doesn't get on this tax.
So I don't.
Your interest, dividends, capital gains, it doesn't get taxed with it. It's only if you're working. Your wages are taxed. And I live in Lackawanna County, and ever since I can remember, since like my very first tax return, we've had a local tax. And I live in Carbondale, 2.5%. And the local tax is 0.5% goes to the school. The rest of it goes to the city. And if anyone here in the room works in Lackawanna County, you are already paying local tax, and you don't have a choice. Because the town that you work in if they have a local tax, and every town in Lackawanna County has at least 1%, you're paying it, and the town gets to keep that money. Why not pay it to the town you live in, to help the town? I think one of the bad parts is it's gonna be a little bit less money in your paycheck, depending upon how much of a tax you want to impose. You know, but maybe, by doing that, everybody is gonna contribute to the town instead of just property owners. You know, 'cause why should you have to pay, but, you know, people up on the hill up here don't. And they're getting the same services that you're getting, just like everyone else, but they're not paying for it. And, you know, pretty much everybody has to work anymore, so why not contribute to the town? And in the handout, there was pros and cons for it. I did include a copy of a local tax return. It's not filled out, it's just a blank. And the employer is gonna have to withhold the money and remit that. And Berkheimer is the collector for local tax. Okay, that came right out of Harrisburg like many years ago. When I first started doing tax returns, I worked for H&R Block for 28 years before I went out on my own. And back then, every town had a different collector. And it was almost impossible to find out who a collector for the town is. And now they have something that for us tax professionals is called community stats. I just go on there, put your address in, and everything pops right up. How much tax goes to the school, how much tax goes to the town, where it gets paid to, your PSD code. And every town has a PSD code. Even Waymart, they have a PSD code right now. It's in there. But we don't have to use it at all because you don't have the local tax. And like I said earlier, so far this year, you could have had $64,000 in your bank account. You figure by the end of the year, that's $128,000 that you could have had in your bank account. You know, maybe to pave a road on one of the dirt roads that are in town. There you go. New air conditioning. You know, but do you have any questions for me?
I have a question. You own your business, I see 40 years experience, so I'm assuming you've had it, a building for 40 years. If you need a new roof, so I'm a contractor and I'm gonna come to your place in Carbondale and put a new roof, but I live in Waymart. Are you taking EIT out of my pay before,
No,
because I'm doing work in Carbondale?
No, because it's different because you're a contractor.
Okay,
Okay, you're working in Carbondale, but your business is in Waymart. Okay, it would have to be like if you, like the contractor is the one that has to pay it, the business owner. Okay, not me. But you break the roof on my house, well, I don't have to pay that. It's all on you at the end of the year because you have to get your bottom line, and that's what goes on that return.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Thank you. Does the school automatically get a 0.5%? Or
No.
they don't have a wage tax, I don't believe it was.
No, they don't.
Okay, all right. So you mentioned a half before, when you stated
Right.
about the wage tax and all that, but they don't have to get it. If we have a 1% or a 0.5% here in Waymart, then that is ours.
Yeah.
The whole amount.
I believe they have to put a referendum on the ballot to be able to take 0.5%, don't they?
Yeah, that's your. I
And
think you're right.
South Canaan and Canaan Township both implemented, so the district office is in South Canaan Township, so they would be paying it.
We already have an earned income tax of up to $52.
Right, that's the LST tax, local services.
Would that stay on?
That'll stay on. Like we're over in Lackawanna, everybody pays $52 a year. When I recently retired from PennDOT. And PennDOT's main office for Wayne County is in Texas Township. It's $10. That's all they took out of me once a year was $10. If I worked in Lackawanna County, the main office is Park Summit, it would have been $52. And you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
It comes out of your paycheck, the first paycheck of the year.
Does Borough County, what percentage do they pay?
That's all up to Borough County.
No, so no one knows.
I think when he was here, he said 3%, and then we get the
So
remainder.
if we were going to even consider a tax increase for the borough residents, wouldn't we just raise the tax we have now?
So that first timer doesn't get it? Is that
Yeah,
what
that's what I'm saying, we could increase what we want if we were going to raise taxes. That's, instead of another tax entity taking our tax, right? Well, wouldn't that make more sense?
Yes.
But the thing with earned income is the majority is already paying it to another municipality. So what it does is that 2.5% that is going to Carbondale right now, they would only get 1.5% out of me. The other 1% comes here.
And then who sets the rate?
You do.
We
The
do.
borough. Council.
We can do 0.5%, 1%.
So is
I wouldn't go any
is
higher.
anybody in Waymart getting a tax reduction under this plan?
No,
We
So
have.
nobody's taxes are getting cut, right?
Right.
no,
Okay.
if you
And
work
that-
in a town that has a local tax, like if you work at Gentex, okay? Gentex is in Bell Township, they have a local tax of 1%.
I get that. So how many people in Waymart are gonna be subject to this new tax that don't pay a tax now? You know the number?
500.
Everybody that is working, you're going to be paying.
Do you know how many that is? Do you have a
I think
number?
there's 519 that are working, 364 or 374 pay it right now.
So that's about 150 people in Waymart are gonna get a new tax. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Okay, so 150 people are gonna have a new tax. And if it's a 1% tax, if they make 50,000 a year, they're gonna have to pay an additional $500 in taxes. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that's on top of the 52 that they already pay.
And
Does anybody know how much we bring in a year on the $52?
Western Wayne is already raised.
They haven't yet, it's on the table.
No, probably not. I mean, probably Lauren could probably answer that
Do we
question.
have any idea how much the $52 brings into the account, into the borough a year?
Shell.
I'd have to ask Shelley,
Now
unfortunately.
that $52, is that one that has to stay or that can go away? Is that up to us?
It
That's up
stays.
to you.
So that can go away. The $52 a year can go away,
It can,
and the streetlight tax that we have can also go away, correct?
it can. Now, you can lower any tax you want, but you're gonna put like more of the burden on the people that are working,
That's the problem.
okay?
Don't you think it's discrimination to have one, excuse me,
We're already paying it.
excuse me. I thought we talked one person at a time. Don't you feel it's discrimination when it only is for people who earn money? People like me didn't have to pay it. And don't you think that they should be able to perhaps come up with a reason why they need the money? It's very easy for municipalities and other organizations to raise taxes. Everybody can do that. But the question is, why do they need to do that?
James,
All right, Shayna's turn now.
okay, so you're saying it's discriminatory against the people that are working.
Right,
But Randy's option was, let's just up the property tax. isn't that discriminatory?
Oh, I did
against-
not say that.
Okay, so I'm
I
sorry.
don't want any new tax.
Okay,
Believe me,
I'm
don't
sorry.
put words in my mouth.
So you're
Wait,
saying,
Yeah.
so you're saying it's discriminatory against people that are working to pay the tax, because they don't currently pay it, right? For the ones that don't currently pay it. But if we want, he said we can up the property tax, right? He said we could.
Not property.
Not the property
Not
See,
tax.
he didn't say the property.
No, I didn't.
Not you, him.
Oh.
So if we up the property
No.
tax, isn't that discriminatory against people who own property? He just said, people that own the property pay tax, the people who rent aren't paying any tax on anything, right?
The people that rent do pay tax. How do you think that the renters get it back? How do you think the people that own the property get it back? They get it through the rent.
Why do you say renters don't pay tax?
Didn't he just say earlier
They pay
that
them.
if we own property, we pay property tax, correct? Everybody, that's a true statement, right?
I'm talking about this $52. Do renters that work pay this $52 check?
Yes.
If you work, you
Yeah.
get 52.
But that should be removed. It's already discriminatory. That's already.
But my comment was to her making the comment, it's discriminatory against people who are working to make the choice, but yet we could, if we wanted to, we could put on property owners, right? Isn't that a true statement too? If we decided we wanted to do that, right? It's the same, right? It's a 50-50.
The property owners, it is everybody that owns property. It
Right.
isn't a certain
And how
class.
many apartments are right over here, they don't own the property, so the person who owns the property has to pay that tax, they don't have to pay anything.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they do. They run. If somebody,
They'll raise the rent.
they raise the rent, how do you think that they get their money back?
Isn't that a
Jane.
section 8?
So,
All right, anyway,
what's the difference between raising the rent and
Reason-
Charging
I'm just trying to.
$5 a paycheck?
$5 a paycheck,
You raise the rent $100 a month, or you pay $20 a month on the item.
And raising real estate taxes is going to hurt our retired community members.
all right, is there any,
I gotta
Can you-
say, I like to say something.
well, first she had Sherry hand up.
How about the people that are paying it to a different district? Isn't that seem unfair to those people who are forced to pay all that money, $100 and some thousand by the end of the year? You know, I know it's, new people are gonna have to pay for it, but, you know, it just so happens Waymart is here. But I mean, Canaan Township, I believe, has it now. South Canaan has it. Clinton has it. You know, we need money for our town. There's so many things that you know, can't pay for or can't do because you're basically giving away over $100 and some thousand a year to all the other communities. So
Because
I mean, I just don't understand how, yeah, it'll be a burden on less than the people that are actually having to pay for it, right? There's less people that don't pay for it than people that are already do pay for it
All right,
in
Randy,
Waymart.
Randy?
I just wanted to say that an individual who's paying taxes pays federal income tax of 12 to 22%, Social Security tax 6.2%, Medicare tax 1.54%, PA income tax 3.0%, Borough tax, local service tax, sales tax, gasoline tax, real estate tax, school tax, which is going up, alcohol, cigarette tax, vehicle registration tax, street light tax, debit tax.
And
Just keep going, we
394
pay more
people are paying
taxes.
way tax.
Wait,
So I really don't. I mean, our budget's in pretty good shape. Now I talked to Shelley, to put a new tax and burden the people with a new tax. I just think it's wrong to do at this point in time. If we ever got to a situation where we had to raise a tax, I'd say we would have to, and I would never like to do it, is raise the local service tax, because we can keep 100% of that money instead of giving 3% to Berkheimer. It doesn't make any sense to me. Just that point alone. Why would you give away 3%? You have to be
and
foolish.
that is,
You have to be foolish to
it's
do
more
that.
than 3%.
you have to be foolish to do that. Keep 100%, why would you give away 3%? Does that make sense to anybody? No.
All right, thank you.
Well, if you work up in the hill in Farview, that's in Canaan Township, I believe, if I'm not.
Yes.
Right? And you live in Waymart, but you work up in Farview, their money's gonna go to Canaan Township. Or if they live down the road, somewhere over there, where else they have. And that's the other problem with it. You know, you're not gonna get that.
It's another tax that will always automatically go up. There's not a
I'm not
tax
done yet.
that we pay.
Wait till he finishes the
I wasn't
comment.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying that I thought you needed revenue. I see things on Facebook, and I know Facebook
Catch
is.
basins,
And,
roads,
yeah, and the roads, and we can't do the roads properly because we can't afford the affordability to take care of the roads and all that, like we want to. So there's an up and down on each side of it. And it's what you guys gotta decide, but I thought you needed revenue, because if you need revenue, this is the way to go get it.
In your opinion. But we could, if we needed revenue,
Right.
we could raise the LCD tax and not give away percentage of.
I see where you're going to get them.
Okay, it's not just the
But they've
3%,
been doing
it's
this-
also the mailing out
Oh, I got
and all that.
Berkheimer's been doing this for a long time.
Yes.
More so Lackawanna County, as you addressed
Yeah,
before.
they're taxed.
But they do know how to do their job.
I just want to clarify something. I see, so there's some business owners here, okay? If you're self-employed, you pay both sides of the social security. So both sides of the social security plus Medicare comes out to 15.3% on top of your state and your federal tax. Okay, as an employee, you're only paying half of that. Your employer pays the other half. So for people that own their own business here, there's a couple of us here, it's that's even more.
All right, are there any more comments concerning your report, this gentleman's report?
Yeah, I'd like to just say one more thing. This is our community. And if with affordability, we can keep going where we're at right now with the ball field, getting roads done better, other things that we might want to do in town. And so this is a way forward with the wage tax.
All right,
The wage tax is all over. People, they pay it because
Just
they get
because
something back. They
they-
get something back.
they pay it because they're made to pay it.
Well, sure, they're made to
That's
pay
it,
it.
that's what
All
it
those
is.
other taxes we're talking about, we're made to pay it, whether it goes here or it goes elsewhere, all these other taxes.
All right, are there any more comments on this gentleman's report? Yes, Mary?
I was
Right?
just going to say thank you very much. And I'm just thinking in my mind, you're concerned about the 3% or maybe the mailing. Everything is handled through your employer on this tax. So we're thinking about the 3%, but we're allowing $120,000 repetitively year after year after year to escape Waymart.
Well, why don't we
And go
adopt
to
one
another
every, why don't we adopt another tax every year? Why don't we just adopt another tax?
I'm just saying, you really need to think about the pros and cons, and you're not solvent. If your people are turning down their pay that they're supposed to be getting to work on this board out of their own generosity, it
So we're not
is,
paying the cops.
you're not solvent.
Spend more dollars an hour somewhere else.
All right, are there any more comments? We've talked it over and over.
I have a question. Is it, that $52,
Excuse me, sir.
1%.
Just answering her question.
You're paying that other 0.5%, you get back.
that $52 tax that we pay, can that be increased or even doubled? Is there anything preventing it?
I think.
I don't know.
Not aware of anything. Is anybody else?
Can that $52 that we already paid be increased?
That is all up to you.
There's no prohibition on it that you're aware of though, right?
But it's still only gonna be to the people that are working.
I was asking.
What's that?
You know, there's no prohibition on it, right? Doubling that $52 tax, is there?
Does everybody in Waymart pay that, even retirees pay the 52? No, just working?
Just ones that work.
But why not spread it out to everybody?
I think we've already hit these points over and over again. Is anything new that somebody wants to say?
EIT is a deduction on your taxes.
It's a deduction on federal tax.
But it's on the gross, right? Taxes on your gross income, not your net income after federal and state?
No, it's whatever the tax is. If the tax, 1% tax comes to $110, that $110 is a deduction on your federal return.
But the 1% is on your gross income, not your net income, is that right?
No, it's on your net.
It's on the net, not the gross, okay.
All right, any more new comments? Thank you for your presentation.
No, sorry.
Okay,
He had one thing to mention that I think some people might be misconstruing, for like Waymart, if they were to adopt the 0.5% and then people that are paying Lackawanna much higher, the excess goes to Lackawanna, or they would be reduced in taxes and just pay 0.5% only.
No, they only pay 0.5%. The remainder you get as a refund.
So some people may have a deduction, a reduction in taxes, if they pay Lackawanna only.
Well, if they're working in Lackawanna.
Yeah.
And they're paying 1% coming out of the paychecks,
Right.
you have a 0.5% tax in Waymart. Okay? That tax comes to $50, 0.5%. They took $100 out of your paycheck for the year, you get that $50 back.
It doesn't go to Lackawanna County?
No.
So somebody could get a
Somebody could get a
reduction.
reduction in that.
Because Lackawanna County is 2.5%, right, you said?
No, Carbondale is 2.5%.
it depends on the
So
municipality.
Scranton is 3.4.
So Carbondale's
Everything else is
2.5.
You know,
So,
pay
okay.
50.5%, and then the rest you would have. to Right, pay I know mine, I had asked, I don't know, year before last, I was paid $500, so you can use that as an example if you want. 500, so if we did 0.5%, 250 would come here. 250 comes here, and the other 250
You get back.
Goes back to your pocket.
it doesn't go to Carbondale.
So if somebody works here and makes 2.5 million, they would have $2,500 tax that they didn't have last year. If they work here, right?
No, they can
If they're making that kind of money, I think.
They would.
All right, I think we,
50,000 would be 500, right?
If they lived here and worked here, yes.
I would have a lot more than 124,000 going on the door.
I think we've talked this over and over and over again, and there's nothing new that's being presented. We thank you for coming, and we'll move on to the meeting.
There was a lot new, but
Can I ask
thank
one more
you.
question? Is it gonna be on the ballot at all for the?
No.
You can't put the referendum on the ballot. The only one that can put the referendum on is the school district.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you. All right, we're moving on.
Well, Sherry McDonough is on the guests and citizens. Sherry is also here.
Okay, but how about these other names over here?
Cliff is not here.
Okay, Cliff didn't show up.
Cliff is not here.
All right, Sherry?
I don't know, but when I went to Dollar General last week, trying to pull out of Dollar General, it's bad enough the bushes
I know.
are there, but now that Remax has a big sign there. I mean, you gotta like inch out on the highway to see.
I mentioned it to the zoning officer.
I had actually called Remax and asked them if they could please move it back a foot or two.
Yeah,
And
cut the bushes
obviously,
down.
nobody did.
Yeah, that is bad. That's
It is
real bad.
very bad. I agree with you, and as I said, I already told the zoning officer. Anybody else that didn't sign that wants to comment? Well, then we'll move on. We'll get to committee reports. Randy, anything on budget and finance?
Looks like we're, talked to Shelley, went over things in pretty good shape.
Okay.
What is the budget? As far as you know?
What's that?
What is the budget that she got?
I didn't bring my, I don't have.
Oh, you didn't bring it? Oh, all right.
We're in pretty good shape, as long as we don't have any past people. Pretty good.
Yes.
Should be about time for a quarterly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Quarterly report, usually.
Usually, yes.
Can I just ask you a question about, why did that gentleman present that? He's not with Berkheimer, right?
And not only
Who's
that,
No, he's not with Berkheimer.
He was
He
asked.
was here. We talked last summer,
He was asked to come.
You know,
and someone mentioned having someone other than Berkheimer come in to tell us the pros and cons. So that's what he was here to tell us, the pros and cons.
Okay. Is he an accountant?
He's,
It doesn't say so.
Milo's tax and accounting.
it's right in the post. Yep. Milo's Tax and Accounting Service, LLC.
But that
40
doesn't
years
mean he has,
experience.
he has credentials.
40 years experience. He worked for H&R Block for over 28 years.
Yes.
I think he has credentials.
Anything else you want to comment? Okay, the next report on grants and purchases and buildings. Wayside Park, the closeout report was given to us for phase one. As I told you last month, it's a holding pattern now to see if we get in the fall, if we get the new grant. And I wanted to comment on the report from the person who came here from DCNR, and she looked at the field and so forth, and this is what she said. From the Department of Transportation, notice of payment to, oh, that's a different one, excuse me, I got the wrong one. And in her comments, she stated about looking at the field and also being able to go and assess the field for inspection, the final inspections, and so she's working on this, and she said to, when we got into the field, Bob Wilson Field, she said to dear Mr. Gilat, you should be very proud of your accomplishments. The field and the lighting look great and are assets to both residents and visitors to the site. Please note that the site inspection has been conducted by DCNR to verify that the project has been completed in accordance with the contract scope of work and grant agreement. A favorable report does not in any way relieve the grantee from responsibilities to requirements, ADA compliance, liability, safety, and obligations, which of course we have a blanket policy. And I knew there was too much tonight, so I did not ask David to come from Barco Insurance to explain what our coverage is so that you all understand what we are covered for and what we aren't covered for. Yes, sir.
How come the infield wasn't grass the way it was supposed to be when they were gonna do it? Now, I understand somebody from up the other end in Clinton Township had something to do with wanting no grass infield. And from what I knew in the beginning of it, it was supposed to be a little league field, all grass infield, not dirt. And there's a water problem over there at times.
And the water problem is being solved right now. The extra material, and that way the pitcher's mound is going to be higher. And it's going to be, and it should have been higher before. So there's special material being brought in, and it comes from the southern part of the Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, Pioneer has to drive down to get it, so it's going to cost something. But we're going to add a few tons more, and we're going to make it so that it has a pitch to the field.
Right, yeah, thank you for that. How much how much extra is that gonna cost for the council in regards to upgrade?
I don't
We're not
know.
allowed to talk about it in the grant money.
Oh, okay.
Are they also going to fix the drain where because the night I was down there and it was pouring, the handicap parking spot was underwater. And the drain was higher than the handicap parking spot. Are they also gonna fix that drainage, or are they just doing that field?
This is news to me. Nobody told me this before.
I said it, because we said that the lights weren't supposed to be on. I look at my front porch, the lights are on. Miraculously, 6 minutes later, I go down there, the lights are off.
It's just that like today, I was called by Mello down to the field. They couldn't get in. Somebody very nicely took the keys and it's in somebody's pocket. I had to drive up to Joe Gilat's house up in White Oak, get his set of keys, drive back down to let Mello in, and then drive back up to Gilat and give him back his keys because I'm afraid to have them out of my hand. What if they disappear? How much it would have cost us?
Why does he have
In the Borough
keys?
building?
Not for the borough building, for the field.
I know for the field, but
The
shouldn't they
fence.
be in this building? Why are they in this white?
Because it hasn't been turned over yet.
Why are we locking the field?
So, but
We are
that's
lucky.
my question, are they gonna fix the drainage? Because when you park, I parked in the handicap
I
spot.
cannot
and
answer
it
a
was
question I
underwater.
don't know anything about.
Okay, well, I sent a video and I'm glad to send it.
I think you should bring Joe Gilat down when that inspector comes in, so Joe, with his knowledge, can walk with them.
And he has. He's already done it and they already know what the
Which you
solution is.
just said that they were coming up to inspect something,
Yeah.
like you said. So
Yeah,
now-
well, they came up to inspect when they found everything, as far as DCNR was concerned, was fine. But there's
When
a,
it was raining.
Was she here on a rainy day?
I have no idea. I didn't meet with her.
It's a beautiful field, but the infill should have been done right in the first place. I don't know how that happened, but, we like the field, even though we don't use it. We go to Lake Ariel.
It's
To
been,
play our
it's been used quite a few times already.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, and the grass was cut again today
Yeah.
on it, and so it's all ready to go again.
No, the grass
I
is
just
cut.
sent the video again.
And the thing is, I hope whoever,
No, I cut the lock off. That was, yeah, I did that.
well, I'd like to know the person who has the keys, because it was decided,
Because they had to mow it.
yes,
So whoever had the keys lost the damn thing, so we cut it. So
That-
it had to
that's-
be mowed for the Little League.
Who cuts the grass?
Jutter took care of it last night.
Okay.
Me and Jutter were down
But
there.
you
Yeah.
were saying maybe somebody that cuts the
I'm
grass.
just asking why we're locking the damn thing up. I had somebody else come up to me and say, hey, me and my kid had to
Because-
hop the fence just to play cash on the field.
because of the lights, the light panels, they have to have locked up. And so that's why it's locked on the fence there.
So the whole
What
field
on the
gets locked up?
public field, a lock on you?
Well, the gate should be locked unlocked.
That's what I'm saying. So you
Yeah,
can
The gate to
gain
get on
access.
the field is locked. I
Yeah.
couldn't go down there and play on the field.
Well, maybe now you could, because I cut it last night.
Yeah, we don't need it
What
locked.
they're saying is that you can't just get on the field to play if you wanted to go down and play a game.
Now you
No.
can.
Yes, we can. There's 5 of us on the committee, and all they have to do is call one of
Oh,
us.
that's-
Yeah, but what if I'm just, I think what Darren is saying is, what if he's with his friends and he just wants to go down and play?
Exactly.
No,
It's a borough field.
It's a
That's how
public
it's
field.
always been.
Yeah.
That's
Why
how
is it
field
locked?
People play catch.
it's locked until the thing is turned over to the borough, so that it's under our liability policy. That's one reason I wanted David to come, to explain all that to you.
He will be
So
here
then
next month.
nobody should be playing on it then,
They got permission to play on it
from,
from Joe Gilat.
Who holds the
Who is he?
liability?
But who is he? He's not voted behind this
paying
table.
the
Do you
liability.
know that if we had to pay that man, we would have to pay him at least
Okay, but that's
$75,000?
not the point. It's a borough field. We were elected as borough council members. That decision should be up to us, not Joe July.
That's true.
It is
Well-
up to the committee of 5 people, which we all agreed on, which Bobby, Barna, and so forth, we all met last Friday night. We all were there until the lights, which automatically go off at 10 o'clock at nighttime. And we are making a schedule, or he's making a schedule, the 2 of them are making a schedule of the people that want to use it, including the Mennonites and other people here in town that want to use it.
Okay, so I'm sorry, Dave, not to be disrespectful, but as the person that's in charge of Parks and Rec and the person that everybody sends their emails to and phone calls to use the
Yeah,
field,
but
I should have known that there was some sort of meeting on the field, right? I was not- I haven't been to a single inspection, I haven't gotten a single report, I've gotten no information on what the lights are doing, nothing besides here. So, as the person who's getting these letters from the people that want to use the field, the phone calls from the Mennonites to use the field, should I not have been there? Isn't that something I should have known?
I did not make up the group.
Okay.
So then I had nothing to do with it.
Who made up?
I was
Then who did?
It was Joe Gilat.
Again,
Plus,
not on the council,
Plus,
so
because the property has not been turned over yet.
I understand that,
But
but
if
if there's
they're
a
using it,
meeting,
it's why?
to understand
So,
what's
so
going
in other
on,
words, you should just say to people, don't use it. Don't use it. Okay, we'll do that. We'll pass that around, put it in the
That's
paper.
not the point.
Nobody
The
use it.
point is,
Hey, I think she's saying that Joe gave permission. If I'm understanding this correctly, Joe said it himself. He is the safety officer as the engineer for the project. We all know how much I get along with the guy. However, I think What it is he said, yes, go ahead, use it, because he is currently the person liable for safety issues on that field.
And that's
Because he
understandable.
hasn't stamped off on
I
it.
get that.
So we don't have a say, it doesn't matter
But
because.
shouldn't I have at least been down there to find this information and not just Jane and a group of
They
people?
were-
I wasn't down there, I'm just gathering this information based on being
But
meetings in
as
this
the
room.
person who's receiving the phone calls and the letters asking to use the field, how am I supposed to give them correct information if I don't know what's going on? I told people they can use the field, but now I'm being told that it's locked because it's not in our possession yet. So now I look like the idiot, and I don't like looking like an idiot.
Bobby Barner is the one who suggested who be on the committee.
And Joe Gillette, I met at the opening game over there, there was no ceremony or nothing.
Right.
At the same token, he was there, he wasn't happy with that infield at all.
No, he
No,
wasn't.
That should have never been done that way, and whoever did it should pay for it.
Well, Pioneer had the contract.
Not Pioneer, not nobody, somebody from up the other end that's involved with Little League.
Oh,
And
okay.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know.
So what gave them the authority to go down there and change the grass to their, that's.
I don't know who did that. But I would say the gentleman from Pioneer probably knows who it is. Anyway, somehow in all this confusion, I was supposed to be giving my report, but, yeah, if you want to, I don't
I
care.
know, but.
Anybody want the light on?
Thank you. I need the light off.
The other one's-
All right, turn that light off, I'll turn this light on.
No.
I can't see.
All right. The Park and Recreation, Shayna Delaney, and she's already commented on most of what she wants to say. Is there anything else you want to add?
Well, I still didn't get an answer to my question, but I guess I'll just skip over it like all the other times I've asked. Mrs. Miller, do we have an update on the time capsule? No, we still haven't found it. So we can't find the time capsule because it got moved, nobody marked it. We've had several people there, can't find it, so there will be no time capsule
Right, there,
unveiling until we somehow find
there
it.
was a man was here for,
Stop it. I had a dream that it was in somebody's garage.
I remember when they buried it.
Yes, but it was
First time or
moved
the second
because
time?
they
But
put
from
on,
where? Do you remember where they
Yeah.
said?
it was in 1976. I was born in 82.
But I understand, but move from
They,
what?
nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
nobody knows.
It's in
And
St.
they,
Mary's.
Stop it.
It's St. Mary's. It's, I'd say go down where the first base used to be at St. Mary's,
Yeah.
go down maybe, I'm only gonna
Randy?
guess maybe
You had that in the last 6 months meeting, Randy. This is the
30
first time you've mentioned it.
minutes in that area.
We had a
I was
gen-
there when they buried it.
The second
I
time.
was,
I don't know if that
Three
was
steps
first.
to the right.
Oh, you were there too.
Randy, you've been to the last 6 months meeting and you've heard me say we're trying to locate the time capsule. You're telling me like 4 days before the meeting.
I get bored in here.
Thank you for your honesty.
all right. There's a little bit quiet.
I had a question about the time capsule. So we have Darren down here, who was Roy's son, and he remembers it being 15 feet off the sidewalk, which would put it in the location of the
Why
sun.
would you let me tell you
Do
what
we-
happened yesterday?
And if that, but if that's the case, if that's where it was, the building was moved 10 feet, there was utilities put on the right side of the building after the building was moved. Was it actually dug up and moved a second time? Because why would it have to be? It wasn't in the way.
Yes, and yesterday we had a gentleman here from Maryland, and he used radar, and he spent 4 hours, right, Maria? At least 4 hours going up and down and up and down.
That's because he was not looking at St. Mary's
St.
Field.
Mary's.
Well,
You didn't know that.
I want to tell you, this is the first time I've heard about St. Mary's Field. I remember when,
I know.
So just a big thank you to Mike Cabbage and his crew from Pioneer.
yes,
because
Pioneer was
they
wonderful.
They came with this subterranean radar reader. They mapped it all out. There is a road water line that goes separate from everything else. I don't know why. We know a lot about what's under the ground over there, but there's no time capsule to be found.
Do you think that they will come back and do St. Mary's Field?
They did digging with a backhoe in 2 places that were accessible by backhoe. And today, they spent an entire day, if you walk over there, you'll see like circles, like crop circles.
Where's over there?
Right here at the depot.
And with
Over there, it's across the creek.
with stone filling it in now, because they,
It's news to
they
me.
did it's like a
Jane, I
vacuum.
blame you.
They inject
know all
water,
the history of
suck
this
everything
town.
out,
Believe me.
and they can
It's
see,
one
and
job.
they did test up near the sign, there's 11 boreholes. One's a double, because they thought maybe they were.
Plus John Edwards and the water company were here. How many different people were here? There, the whole yard was like Popple Alley.
Was
There are
there,
so many.
at
And
one time, was there ever another building there? Because in the one hole they were digging, it literally looked like, again, a stone foundation as he was bringing the.
there was a
rocks out.
stone, it was part of the railroad. It was a
Okay, so anyway, we don't have a time capsule.
I had a question, she
Sorry.
was answering. The stone, what was there, a stone wall for a?
the D&H Gravity Railroad had a place there where people could bring their produce and put it on the train and sell it over in Carbondale because of the fact that we have no coal on this side of the mountain. They had the coal and they had a barter system where if you gave them a load of potatoes, maybe you get a half a ton of coal. And so everybody in Waymart considered themselves lucky because everybody who had a stove or had the heat in their house, they actually could use coal. And it was very, very envious because if you see all the pictures that we have at the Historical Society, and I'd like to see some of you come into the Historical Society, you will see that the whole hillside is nude. All the trees have been cut down because everybody burnt them. And so consequently, they had a place there, and that's where Waymart comes from. The market was this side of the hill. And so they used it by taking it over in the coal cars that were empty when they were sent back to sell over in Carbondale. And lots of people went on the train and went over there and did it. And we really should we have a wonderful historical society in the fact that we are trying to keep this alive. And I thank Maria for taking over.
Except I don't know where that time capsule is.
So
And
anyway, back to my report. We don't have a time capsule. When we find it, we'll do an unveiling then.
right,
I want to thank Donna Maria Miller, Wendy Stoddard, and DJ Daniels, who have been my committee, even though 40 people said they would help. Ended up with 4. I want to thank our donators to help us pay for the celebration. We have Mr. Chris Farrell, attorney at law, Blooms on Belmont, Universal Publishing, Frontages Pharmacy, Carl's Dumpster, Grim Construction, Wayne Bank, CNA Seamless Gutters, Howell Family Funeral Home, Lador, The Hair Jam, and Waymart Milk. So yes, Saturday, we are going to not have a time capsule unveiling because we don't have one, but we are going to have the commissioners at the park for a proclamation and a plaque presentation at 3:30, and then we will start parade lamp at 4. Parade starts at 5. We end at Kennedy Grove, where we'll have axe throwing along with all the other things that they have. They have another band coming, bounce houses, they have food, they have 2, I think, dessert trucks. We are going to have a gluten-free option, thanks to Maria Miller. And that's all I have on the celebration update. So hopefully we see you on the 13th.
any questions for Shayna? Thank you very much for your report.
And I also have, I'll just pass this around. I'm on the board of directors for Save the Trades Car Show. It's a car show we do every year. It's our 3rd year. We do it in Honesdale at Top Notch, but we're going to expand next year. So we do it in Honesdale for Honesdale High School. We're going to expand it to Western Wayne next year. I've already talked with Mr. Grimm. We are allowed to use the Hayes parking lot for said car show. So that information will come out obviously the start of next year. But if you want to come down and support, we give scholarships to kids in high school that are going into the trade. So electrical, plumbing, welding, automotive. They get a scholarship to expand their education. So that's just information. We have a pop-up food truck coming, Angry Works Creamery coming, and we'll have basket raffles. Yeah. Yep, so that's what it's for, so, but yeah,
Take it store.
yes, so. That's not till September, but I figured I'd let you know, and like I said, we're gonna expand it so much between next year. We just have to wait till next year.
All right, thank you very much.
I have something for Shana. Your swing set at the park, the top is loose. As the
Okay.
kids swing, it goes like this, the top one.
Okay,
It's a little dangerous.
got it,
Thank you.
thank you.
Safety, Don?
Is there any money for street signs?
It should come out of liquid fuels.
Liquid fuels can pay, but I don't know if this lawnmower, if there's any extra money.
Well, do you see the report? Her report at the top, it tells how much is in liquid fuel.
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean we have enough.
So if you subtract, what,
107,000,
22 roughly?
that's what we have for this year, right?
Yes.
We don't know what winter's gonna be.
So
No.
I actually was looking at this, is there a way that we could repair the street signs ourselves?
You wanna paint every one of them.
Paint, well, what about the ones that are, what if you just started with the ones that are really bad? Like, what if you just went around and said, and
They're reflective. That's the reflective paint.
What is the total of the signs?
7,500 was it, somewhere around
Okay.
7,500.
I think we could take that out of liquid fuels, can't we?
That was,
There's $107,000 in there.
it really is a priority as far as
Yeah, we already talked about
ambulance
it.
corps.
It's like 911, it's important. I believe they discussed it at the first meeting that we were at,
that was over.
and not just our community,
It
but
could be $8,000.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was just like the crosswalks, okay? And the
Yes.
stop sign line.
Now,
and the crosswalks can be done because
they painted the
the
line.
state is done.
Does that mean they're not
They're
fixing
done.
their main, their,
What's there is there.
I believe so.
And even if we painted them and they came through and painted, the state has to come back and do what we've already done. They have to redo it, not us.
Yeah, but they did paint the new lines I saw the other day. And they didn't fix the road at all.
no.
Ah.
What's-
So if we're gonna do it for the celebration, we have a week.
Oh, good job, definitely done for it. All right, anything else you're done you'd like to report?
No. Those, we just need, handicap placards, right? Nothing like. not a
Like the one we
handicap
have out
placard
here?
thing, right, for Patterson Street.
Yeah, we needed two, well,
Yeah,
the
but-
lady was here.
Yeah.
She wanted to see if we could get 2 signs.
Just signs though, not like
Signs.
parking. Right?
No, just to make people aware
That
that there's a handicapped person in a wheelchair
Okay.
and put one facing this way.
And where would you get that?
I imagine you
Probably
get it
Bob.
at
We sell, we have them at work with the plastic. I don't know if one plastic or metal. I mean,
Well,
it's thick plastic.
It's a small street and it doesn't get that much traffic. I don't know whether we need metal. It probably would cost a lot more in metal. But you see it. You're gonna take care of it this
Yeah.
month, right? So that's all we care about. We sign the person to do it.
Chris, can we make a motion for him to go make the signs, or
Is it on the agenda for
It's
tonight?
not-
No. we have to wait until next?
But that doesn't mean we couldn't direct him to do his job and get the signs because it's,
I thought if it was
Safety.
like safety and everyday issues that needed to be taken care of, like in immediacy.
we talk about these things month after
It
month
could
after
be
month.
on. So just so you know, I just forward you all, there's a bill in the state, there's a bill in the state house that is going to prohibit anything happening at meetings without being on the agenda. But from my understanding is from what other local townships have said, that everyday local business can be handled under the committees.
I could just say generally from appellate court case law, it's not on the agenda, it's not supposed to be acted on, but if it's an emergency or something, absolutely.
I think it's a safety thing.
Yes, it's a safety thing. and-
Yes.
You know,
Disability Act.
Is there a sign there now?
No.
Remember coming in here with the wheelchair and horse
This
blind?
is-
That right there.
This is just,
Oh, God, just.
And there's,
this is just a concerned citizen putting signs up for the ladies, nothing to do with the environment.
Okay, go ahead, who's gonna object?
And the conversation was in the borough, in the township government, it was like, if you need paper, does it need to be on the agenda to order paper?
Just put the sign up.
Yeah, yeah, good. All right, we'll move on. Anything else you wish
Do you
to?
want to put a limit on what you can spend? Because you've done that before,
well, he said they were,
like when you made the
Are we
decision for
talking
the
about-
copier.
are we talking about one sign or are we talking about all the signs?
No, 2 signs on
Oh,
Patterson Street.
no,
Okay, okay.
He's responsible to keep it as low as possible. He's a responsible person.
yeah.
Streets and road. Streets and road, Darren?
Yeah, so me and Shane went around, we talked with the guy from PennDOT, Jeff, and he got everything written up. If you guys wanna look at. There's 2 on there. That's that one. That's the whole big package. So it includes 22 tons of finish for pothole patching, to about 10,000 linear feet of crack sealing, complete replacement of the basin down here at Railroad and South, and then resetting the 2 catch basins that are right here, Center Street and South Street in that intersection. About 885 square yards of full base repair. That's going up Honesdale Road where those potholes are on the right side as you're going up the hill. And then putting in the, fixing the base, fixing the finish, and then doing 624 linear feet of grading and shaping for the shoulders on the roads, also mostly Honesdale Road, because I went around with Leroy as well, and one of his big concerns, if not the biggest, was well, not necessarily the plowing, but a lot of the shoulders are up higher than the road surface. So the water is not getting off the road into the ditch. So then it comes down, it hits the potholes that are already there, stays in the potholes, gets them wet, freezes in the wintertime, and then Honesdale Road, he said, is especially bad. It's just like a hockey rink. So that's what's in these bid packets, is the things I just listed there. And then if you guys are good with all that, we'll put it out to bid. And we also set it up so we can, everything's itemized, so we have to get a price for every individual thing in the packet. And then we pick and choose what we want done based on the money we have available.
Okay. Shelley was sorry that she couldn't get here tonight, but she had to go to the meeting over in Forest City. But I was wondering, with our machine that we have, could we do some of that side, and go along and,
Not
you don't think,
efficiently.
not efficiently?
No, Leroy said it because I asked him about that. I said, is there anything we can do with the backhoe? And he said, just in the streets where he can just go perpendicular and go right across and push it up into the woods.
Uh-huh.
On like, I think Brookside was one of them, down by the beer distributor. But on Honesdale Road, you can't push it into people's yards.
Yeah.
So that it has to be scalped out and then cleaned up.
Okay.
That one at Railroad Street, you were on that once before, and I see it really sank down again like it did.
That the end of Railroad Lane, the basin you're talking about?
Yeah.
So the issue with that was, when it was done before, it was done, I guess, in a cost-effective manner. And I can't, was it Zablocki?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he informed Shane, hey, in the future, this is gonna have to get addressed sooner than usual. And it was okayed, but then between construction traffic on the field and construction traffic for that building back there, the ice cream thing or whatever, it just beat the hell out of it.
When I go back that way, that it was down so far, knowing that you had to repair.
Yeah, it was just, how often is that gonna get a triaxle on it? And it got triaxle after triaxle full. and concrete and all that, so.
We'll have to remember that next time there's gonna be a lot of construction somewhere to get a bond put on the road that whatever construction companies.
Yeah, so if something
travel
gets
with.
jacked up, we're not doing all this again.
Then most, yes, sir?
You know,
There, on Myrtle, there's that ditch that goes in front of Chapman's house. That thing is about this much higher than the road. That was part of that grant that did that driveway up the hill. It never got done. Every time it rains, all the water runs right down
when
the
was this grant?
driveway.
Birch Lane.
Birch
When
Lane.
they
It
did
needs to be
Birch
cleaned
Lane,
out.
When the hell was that?
2 years?
Birch Lane
Cross
goes
the
into
trees.
Myrtle Street.
Cross from trees.
Trees where trees.
Right, when
That's
that's
probably
when,
what,
when
five,
was this
six
grant?
years ago?
4, 5,
I mean,
It's
Teddy used to
probably
clean
5
the
or 6
tobacco
years
and go back in the truck when Teddy and Rocky did it. And Rocky and Bert.
at least 5 years.
And right now, all that water is running down into our neighbors, runs right down his driveway, which I, contacted Joe because the water company worked on our street last fall. And when they didn't fix the end of his driveway properly. It doesn't have the little blacktop. What do you wanna call that?
Asphalt curb.
The curb.
The garbage, yeah.
They didn't put that back, so it's running right down his driveway. Joe did address it, emailed,
Well, then, as far as the,
they said that's not. But
Birch Street issue with the shoulder there,
It's not Birch Street.
it's Myrtle.
well, who the hell said Birch Street?
Well,
When they did
that
the
was
project on
project.
Birch Street, that was supposed to be taken care of and it was never
Okay,
done.
so there was a grant for Birch Street,
Yes.
and that caused an issue with Myrtle Street.
That ditch
Where-
was supposed to be cleaned all the way to take the water.
Okay.
Because Birch Street goes down like this into Myrtle.
So if we can't figure out who applied for it, how it was gotten,
It was
scope of
under
the
the
work
soil
there.
and water conservation.
Yes.
I didn't
Do
have
we have
anything
a
to do
scope
with
of the work?
it. I didn't have anything to do with it. They did it
I
themselves.
might still have the paperwork at home. Lillian was
I'm
involved
just,
in that.
if there's somebody we can talk to, say, hey, you guys kind of screwed this up, and here's the scope of work,
It
and
was,
this
that
caused
was
this,
Millen, Eddie Millen.
then, we'll try to get them to right their wrong. If not, maybe we just take off, 24 feet or whatever off the 624 on Holmesville, start a little further down instead of way up top, and we use that, because it's spaced in linear foot, it doesn't say, here only, it's just a linear footage, so.
Is there any paving in that contract?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's,
Is there enough that,
1,732 tons worth of paving.
would there be enough to do in front of the ambulance building?
Yeah, a lot of railroad lanes like that actually, because we noticed that there's an obscene amount of cracking on that road because of all the construction traffic.
Right.
It got beat up pretty bad.
Yes, it is.
So we will
Well,
have to remember.
any- all right, we,
I have one more thing for Darren. The bridge on South Street. Donnie, myself and Dean went and fixed a hole that was in the sidewalk. I contacted Jeff Weinberger.
Okay.
Because he's our borough engineer. He is supposed to come and look at our bridges to see about getting them repaired. And Jane and I were going to see if we could work on a grant to have the bridges repaired.
yeah,
They're in bad shape.
The hole wasn't in the street, it was in the
It was in
sidewalk.
the,
it was in the sidewalk and paved road.
It's a temporary fix, and it had to be done because.
And I wanna give Connie
Right.
credit, they filled it in first,
Concrete wall
but it didn't stick, unfortunately.
with
Just
another truck.
a bridge above it?
Yeah, the bridge is a concrete bridge, sitting on top of.
What'd you say? It actually looked like it might have been railroad tracks.
Yeah. All right, anything else? You want a motion, right?
Right, yeah, just if you guys are okay with this
Any
proposed
questions on his
bid specs,
proposal
we'll put it out to bid.
by anybody here at the council? All right, do you want to make a motion then?
Yeah, can I get a motion I'd like to put this bid packet as provided out to bid so we can figure out what we can and can't get done and get it done.
With addition, some editing, because there is some editing, if you look at the dates and the names that are on here, I think they need to be edited, so.
The dates say June 8th,
Oh, yeah, I see that.
so you gotta go through.
And just a couple things need to be edited.
Right, so, I mean, yeah, besides the admin edits, just, the motions for the scope of the work. And it's, like I said, it's all itemized, so we can pick and choose.
I'll second it.
All right, you, Heather, do you got that motion down? Do you want to read the motion back?
Just motion to put out to bid the proposal and contract. I mean, I'm not sure.
Darren, is that all right?
Reread your motion, how you want to word the motion,
sorry.
please. Sorry.
Uh,
You said scope of the contract.
motion to put, out for bid the items listed in this bid spec packet.
Second,
I second it.
a motion is made by Darren and seconded by Teresa to put out the bid package, out for advertising and to get bids on, all sections of the contract. Are there any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, abstentions, motion carried. Thank you, Darren. Anything else you'd like to report on?
Nope, that's it.
Right, thank you. Utilities, Teresa?
Well, my utilities kind of runs into unfinished, so. Are we?
All right, go ahead, why not?
It's,
I think we've done
update.
a lot of that already.
I have an update on the fire hydrant for Brookside. I saw John Edwards and he gave me a phone number for Jessica Miller from Aqua Water. She told me to have an email sent on Borough letterhead requesting a hydrant to be installed on Brookside, approximately halfway down between Homestead Road and Route 6. What will happen then is they will send an engineer out who will look at it and they will come up with, I'm guessing, a cost on how much this hydrant is gonna cost to put in. She didn't know how much the borough would have to pay or anything like that. It would all be sent once the engineer looks at the project. But that's where I'm at. Getting
And which
a
road?
fire hydrant on Brookside.
Brookside,
Yes.
okay.
There, and the closest one to you guys, I believe, is on Prospect, and it's too far, There's just, they really need to have a hydrant put on that street. The other hydrant that I talked about at the same time as Brookside is out at the building center. That hydrant is going to be replaced.
Okay.
Okay, he did say that he did know. I have the information here if you want. Heather?
Yes, please.
Please pass that down.
One on Prospect is what, quarter of the way down.
Yeah, it's, Josh and I went and looked at them, it's too far.
Prospect Street too.
What's that?
There's one that's right at the top of Prospect Street also. There's two on Prospect.
I will talk to you more about this, how the letter should be worded, Teresa.
Okay. And that's all I-
Anything else you want to report?
No, that's it for.
Thank you. Unfinished business, there's a few things that came up.
No, new business.
I just did the unfinished.
She just.
That was
Oh.
utilities unfinished.
Okay. We have a letter of resignation as president.
She read that already.
Will we accept it with regret? Would somebody make a motion to accept it with regret?
I accept it. Make a motion to accept it.
Second?
I'll second it.
A motion's been made by Darren and seconded by Teresa
Briefly.
to accept his resignation with regret. And now, there was a couple other, let me see here. They have been using the locker out here. I have seen people using it. I'm happy to see that. Now, it's Cliff Kokovich was supposed to come, but he didn't come. It's concerning,
So that's off.
concerning the UTV ordinance. So, if he shows up, then we'll discuss it then. We'll put it to rest right now.
Damage to the flagpole, Teresa.
Okay, it wasn't, no, not damage to a flagpole. It was supposed to be just a flagpole, talking about.
Oh.
We were standing, Marie and I were standing out here in the yard one day and I was kind of looking up, I'm like, how come there was never a flagpole? We have no flag at the borough building. Fine. And can we put one up?
Yes, as long as it's lit at nighttime.
Because I believe,
Or you take the flag down.
Yeah.
Harbor Freight has those ones that you push the button and you can expand them out, and they have lights on top.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
have
know
one of those.
exactly how much they are.
I have one of those at home and the lighting is very dim. Just saying.
Is there a street light out here?
You need it on.
right here.
It has to be on the pole.
On the flag.
On the flagpole, yeah.
So maybe we could get a flagpole.
Like the one in the
for-
park.
Yes, something.
Okay. Do you want to do research and bring that in for next month then,
Sure.
Teresa?
Yep.
Thank you. Is there anything else under new business that you want to discuss?
Possible motion to advertise EIT ordinance.
Chris, do you have a comment on that?
No, I don't have a vote.
I know you don't have a vote, but do you have a comment on it? How it can be done?
How to advertise it?
Oh.
What, next month to vote on?
All right, does somebody want to make a motion to advertise it? We don't know what the motion is, though, and we don't know what the ordinance is. How can we?
Well, we all had a copy of it when he was here. I have a copy here. It's a sample copy. The wording would have to be changed for Waymart Borough.
But you guys, you know your percentage? What's in the motion?
I don't know anything about the motion.
1%, 3%?
That's the sample of the ordinance, if anybody wants to read it.
The whole
You
thing?
would advertise the ordinance for a 1% EIT.
This whole packet?
That's the ordinance. Yes. That is the sample ordinance.
You should all
The
take
verbiage
that
would
and
have to
review
be
that before voting.
But we all
I
did
agree,
get
I agree
copies.
with the solicitor. It should be written up that we can all read it first so we know exactly what it says. So I think we should table it to next month and have it rewritten by somebody that we can all understand it and all study it. But this is a very serious decision.
I will get it rewritten and get it in mailboxes before next month's meeting.
Okay. Anything else?
We have to, we accepted the resignation. We need to appoint.
What?
Possible motion to accept the
Yes.
resignation of president and motion to appoint new president.
I think the vice president.
The vice president automatically
ascends, But you guys
Okay.
can reorganize.
She already.
You
We've
guys can
never,
You guys can reorganize at any time.
I don't think any of us have ever gone through someone resigning for president, so none of us know
The vice
what the procedure is.
Vice president assumes the position until next year, right?
The next time that you reorganize.
But you could, but Chris
And
said you could
reorganize every 2
Every 2
years.
years.
Every 2 years.
Okay, but Chris said you could reorganize it or anytime.
Reorganize it,
You can reorganize it anytime.
make sure it's on the agenda.
Has to be on the agenda.
So what is on the agenda we can do tonight?
No.
Or we can
She
table
automatically,
it, is that what you're saying?
she automatically ascends to the presidency
But like,
without you guys doing anything.
So do we have to appoint a new vice president then?
Should, yeah.
Is that also something that needs to be on the agenda, or is that assumed because?
I mean, everything's supposed to be on the agenda.
Okay.
If you want to appoint a vice president, somebody wants to sue us, we'll turn around and do it the right. So if you want to appoint a vice president, he didn't resign from council, so there's no vacancy to put out to the public, it's just in yourself. There's no comment necessary for it, you guys can vote now, make a motion to make somebody vice president. Or leave it vacant until next month.
I don't know.
Hearing no motions, we'll conclude the meeting. Is there anything else that anyone else wants to bring up?
What? New what? No.
May I have a motion to conclude the meeting?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Second, the motion?
Second.
Motion's made by Darren and seconded by Randy to conclude the meeting. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And, one thing we need to decide is who's gonna fix the air conditioning?
We don't have any money.
Small.
If you look at this report, what do you mean we don't have any money?
Randy, can you take a look at this?
You can call Tiki's Ball in Carbondale.